So sorry about that. Welcome to Live with the Creativity Cave. I gotta go in my Stampin' Lips drawer and grab my Stampin' Lips because I can. I hope you guys are doing well. I came back from a most glorious getaway with my Stampin' besties and like 497 other of my best friends. Let me get my lips on. So we are ready to go. It was just what I needed. So we got back last evening and I'm sort of unpacked. I came back and my stamping desk was completely clear. Did you see my live last week? I showed you my new organized stamping desk, and I'm very excited to have my professional organizer is coming later this week again. So anyway, hi Tracy from Australia. Hope you're doing well. I am, oh, thank you, Gloria. She said I look pretty. You can have whatever you want. I had a really wonderful time. We were in New Orleans for Stampin' Up's Backstage event, which is like a leadership event. It was not any stamping. In fact, we did 0 stamping. But it was a great gathering of the minds. And actually, Kelly, Barb, and I, as always, got some really fun stuff done. We were working on our upcoming fall retreat, which the registration is going to open up tomorrow. Very excited. And we had some time to lounge in our room, and we got out, and we may have potentially, possibly, could have had some of the local fare, and by that I mean the drink, the hurricane. We also had mojitos one night, and then we had hurricanes, and then I guess, yeah, that was just the 2 times. So anyway, so I'm very excited about that. It was a super duper great getaway. It was hot, it was sticky, there was sweat rolling down things in places I don't even want to talk about. But we had a really great time. So I would say, generally speaking, not a huge fan of New Orleans. I don't think we saw like the good part, so to speak. We went to Bourbon Street, and let's just say the people that were there with children, I would argue that was a little questionable. I saw things with my little sweet, innocent eyes that you can't unsee down there. I'm just saying. I know there's prettier parts to the area, like the Garden District. I don't think we were there. But it generally was, let's just say the people watching was amazing. And yes, I did have beignets. In fact, we had them in, let's see. We had them, well, pretty much every day, actually. We even had going away beignets. They were really delightful. I heard somebody went to a place and they were terrible. And I thought, wow, luckily we were at the good place. We didn't go to Cafe Du Monde, but we got them at our hotel and they were like fresh and very nice. So it was really good. And then one of our friends just left for a cruise, and I thought that was brilliant because New Orleans is like a port. So hello, we should have done that. Note to self, next time you're in a port city, go on a cruise. I just think that would have wrapped up the whole week pretty nicely, you know, like with a bow. But it was good to get home. We haven't we haven't been away that long, I guess, for a long time. And so it was just really nice to get away. I didn't hardly talk to my family, which was great. They managed, everybody's fine. They're all still breathing. That's good. I think Izzy missed me, but I don't even know. They all came. Well, Ella's in college right now, so she didn't. But everybody else came and picked me up from the airport. So that was kind of sweet. Let's see. What were some highlights? Let me look at my pictures because that will help me decide what I should show you. Let me just tell you the pictures I didn't post. Whoa. A lot of people watching. So if you didn't catch, I posted our final event was like a parade. Like they shut down like not the city, but like a couple, like several blocks, and they were there was a parade for that. Well, it was us, but it was for us. So there was a band, and we followed the band, and we paraded through the French Quarter and followed the band, and it was really cool. It was like the coolest thing. They'd given us beads and little umbrellas and a mask and a feather boa. I gave all those things away to people throughout the thing, partially because, like, what are you going to do with that when you get home? And also because they were little kids seeing some of the things that I was seeing, hopefully not understanding, hopefully not reading some of the things I saw. I know in my variety of interesting travels over the years, I've seen t-shirts in places where it's like, whoa, did you see that t-shirt? But never have I seen so many of those in one place for sale. It's really crazy. I guess, yeah, it's Fremont Street, but bigger and dirtier and ickier. Like, I know what Fremont Street is. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. But yeah, we had a good time. Let's see. A lot of play on words, shall we say. Yes, t-shirts, well, with writing and with pictures. Yeah. And yes, there were children there, and I was like, wow. I didn't post my pictures. I've posted interesting pictures that I've seen on trips before, but these ones, I don't know. I'm not sure all of the people would approve. So, yeah. But it was, yeah, it was just, we'll say colorful. Colorful. Very colorful. But it was really wonderful to see my people, and of course, Barb, Kelly, and I really enjoyed our time together. We relaxed quite a bit. We like got to season 2 of Schitt's Creek because, you know, we have to watch a silly show. We also watched a movie, and that was pretty funny. Like in our hotel room, like we didn't go out. So yeah. It was really just a wonderful getaway. I'm like looking at my pictures to see if there were any silly ones. The one I got, though, this one will make you crack up. If you have teenage kids, you totally can relate to this, or maybe you have grandkids, and they're on the Snapchat, right? And they snap each other pictures of their faces. And what's interesting is, first of all, they have absolutely no care about what they look like. Like, they will take a picture of themselves looking horrible, and it's really no big deal. Not that I like am always camera ready, because for sure not, but like they just no cares in the world. And then that it's always like like this much of their face or this much of their face, or it's just like a bit of the face, which I always thought was interesting. So Kelly, Barb, and I always think that's funny because we have our kids, or we've seen our kids who do that, and it's like, oh my gosh. Well, anyway, this was a picture I took yesterday at the airport. And that was after we went through security, because that was amazing people watching too. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So anyway, we laughed a lot. We cried a lot from laughing. It was good. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my photos. I did share quite a few. If you're either friends with me on Facebook or on my business page, you should have seen quite a few pictures. And some of the video of our parade, because that was pretty cool. It was, there was actually, there were two bands. There was kind of like the band that started like the whole thing, and then at the end there was, I think it was a high school band. So yeah. But yeah, the French Quarter is not appropriate for innocence. You will not be innocent after being down there. Also, contact high. That's all I'm saying. Oh, we took a trolley ride too. That was kind of fun. We saw some different things. But, and then in the plane coming in, we watched, or not watched, but you could see like Lake Pontchartrain, I don't know how you say it. And like the protective dike, you know, that gave way during Katrina, and it was interesting. Yeah. A lot of sights and smells. I know. I would say I'm not a huge fan of New Orleans, but it was quite an experiment or experience. Sorry, not an experiment, an experience. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna stop talking now. Okay, well, we have lots to cover today. Um, first of all, let's see. First of all, I've got a bunch of cards to share with you. I've got some stamps to give away. I've got some events to share with you information about. And of course, I have some absolutely fabulous projects ready to stamp with you. So I'm super excited about that. I also have, I think I've got, well, there's more stuff coming up this week. The last couple days of celebration are happening right now, so don't miss out. Get your orders in. Stuff is selling out, so get on it. And remember that celebration goes through, is it Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday through Wednesday at midnight Stampin' Up time, which is Mountain Standard, well, Mountain time. I don't know. Didn't actually, can you guys answer me this? I swear they messed with daylight savings, like they're not doing it anymore. So are we not going to fall back? Is that not happening this fall? Because I'll tell you, if there was ever a time Dina could use an extra hour in her life, it would be right about now. Just saying. Yeah. So, oh, one more quick thing before I turn my camera around and show you everything. My son this weekend had another time trial. They've had, this was his third one, and then his first meet is coming up. But his time trial, you guys, he was the second person on his whole team. So he's the number 2 runner on his team. He's hoping, his goal is to become an all-state runner. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it's a big deal. How cool is that? Okay, you guys are saying November 6th, we're changing time. But seriously, didn't they change that? I swear like they made a law or something. I don't know. It was pretty cool. So I'm really proud of him. His first meet is this weekend, and it's a killer course. It's our home course. There's 3 hills on it: the Exterminator, the Exasperator, and something else like that. There's 3, and they finish on a big uphill, and then there's a little straightaway to the finish. But it's basically the last big thing is a big hill. So it's pretty exciting. I'm really excited for him. He's worked so hard, you guys, all summer long. He realized, he's like, well, I spent the summer running and working. I didn't do anything else. I'm like, well, that's gonna pay off. So he's been working so hard. And yesterday when he picked me up, he said that he's like, my legs are really hurting. So anyway, I promise to post pictures about that too, because y'all know that I'm the loudest mom cheering, right? Of course. Okay. Oh, we're not going back to daylight savings time. Oh, interesting. Well, we'll just have to see how that all plays out. But I get my hour back. That's what's important here, right? This year I get my hour back. It sounds like that's happening, and I'm very excited. Yay! Okay, I'm gonna flip my camera around, and I'm gonna grab something off my desk, and then we will be at it. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm still working, oops. I'm still working on my setup for all these things. Ooh, let's see. Oh, it looks like an important message just came through. Mark is saying his wife, Shelly, it's her birthday today. Would I wish her a happy birthday? And of course I will. Happy birthday, Shelly. Oh, what an awesome day for a birthday. I hope your day is absolutely fabulous and that my stories of life and trips and family bring you joy and a little giggle. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna be right back, but happy birthday. Okay, so first up, as you probably know, Celebration, our annual sales event, is concluding on Wednesday. We have the items in here as well as the items on here. Things are selling out, so just be aware of that. The brushed metallic gold paper or brushed metallic paper is sold out. We also have in the flyer of Celebration, I do believe the hippo dies are sold out. Then these are sold out. Okay, they told us it was while supplies last. And I think and then these dies are sold out. Okay, so make sure that you get, that you get your orders placed sooner rather than later so that you don't miss out on anything. So that goes again until Wednesday or through Wednesday. I also have some classes coming out this week. I have the Hello Harvest Creativity to Go kit, and we were actually just cutting the cardstock for these today, and oh my goodness, you guys, they're so awesome. I've got a really cool fun fold in there, and just some fun kind of different takes on the stuff that comes in this bundle. So check that out. The links to this stuff, by the way, to both to shop as well as to the classes I'm talking about are in the description of this video, so you can get registered for them if you are interested in that. Also, the Season of Chic online class is coming out on Wednesday as well. Oh my gosh, you guys, the more I use this bundle, the more I love it. In fact, I love it even more today than I did when we came up with the classes, and I'm telling you, the projects are fantastic. I'm really proud of this class, and I think you're going to love it. This bundle is such a great variety, and it's just a wonderful bundle. So I highly encourage you to register for that as well. Of course, whenever you shop my online store, you can get a free PDF with a $50 purchase. This is the He's the Man All-Star Tutorial Bundle, and there are some wonderful projects in here. Some are easy, some are a little bit more complicated, but all of them are very doable with the video tutorials for each project included. You can buy this for $15 or you can get it free with the $50 purchase in my online store. And the PDF includes measurements in both English units and English cardstock and metric units and like European and South Pacific sized cardstock. Because I don't know if you guys knew this, but our cardstocks are actually slightly different sized. It does tax my brain to figure those measurements out each time, by the way. Also, Wednesday is the last day to get registered for my Sunshine and Creativity Delivered box for the month of September. So you register by the 31st, and it is going to be on watercolor techniques. And I'm really excited about this because I asked our current subscribers what kinds of trouble they have. And the two big ones were shading and making sure things don't look like mud. So we're going to tackle those two things really in depth, but I've got a couple of cool techniques that I actually have been working on and / learned recently. If you've done my watercolor things in the past, I think you will be delighted with this. So make sure and get registered. Again, link in the description of this video. And then the next and very exciting thing is our fall Stamp-A-Palooza is happening October 6th through the 9th. The 6th is actually a business portion to the event, but the 7th, 8th, and 9th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or no, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. I don't know. It's Thursday is the business, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the creative. That's right. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Okay. You're welcome for having me to figure that out on my fingers. So we put the final touches on this weekend. And can I just tell you, oh my gosh, you guys, it's going to be so amazing. I'm really excited about it. So we have all the things that you've come to love in our big retreat. However, we've kind of tried to smoosh it in a little bit so that we could get as much put into it at the lowest price and still be able to offer it to you, if that makes sense. Because we know that everybody is feeling the pinch just like we are with, the cost of things and inflation and all of the things happening in the world today. So we're trying to make it as awesome as possible. So we backed off a little bit on the goodie bag to make it more economical, but we did not back off on the content. So all the usual stuff is going to be included. We have card challenges, mystery stamping, live videos, 16 make and take projects, guest stamp galleries for inspiration, which have always been a huge favorite. There's going to be an optional card swap, an optional card contest, like wow card contest, as well as a swap card contest. And by the way, if you're in the kickoff, I will be posting those contest winners. I have them all ready to go. So watch for that if you were in our kickoff. And then let's see, all the things. So it's going to be a really great event. And then we also have our annual Stamp Business Palooza. So this is the business training. This is kind of you asked for it, we're delivering it. And by the way, there's early bird pricing on the retreat part as well. All of this comes out tomorrow, so watch for that. And I will be sending an email. It's pretty awesome. But our business training, this I'm super duper excited about. We've got some guest speakers lined up to talk about a variety of topics. And we also have some really awesome content planned. And this is based on anybody who's trying to get their business going, or business demonstrators who are trying to kind of take things to the next level. There's something for everybody in here. And like I said, we've partnered. We've got some guest speakers coming in to help us with this. And I think you guys are going to be amazed. It's really going to be an awesome event. My favorite person is actually somebody we talked to at the event we were just at, and she had taken a 4-year sabbatical from her business, and she's just starting back up, or she actually has been starting back up. So she's been really working it, and so we're really excited to have her talk about her experience and what she's been doing to get things going again after a pretty good sized break from her business. So anyway, if you are a member of my team, there will be discount pricing for demonstrators on my team. Watch for the email for that. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. Now, these are available while supplies last, and we are limited by how many packets we can make. So get registered early. That is my advice. Oh, and absolutely everything is recorded. So if you are not able to join in that weekend, or you're not able to do everything, don't worry, it's recorded. You'll get a PDF with all the links included, all the photos, all the tutorials, all the photos. Oh, I said photos, all the things. So the only thing you can't really do if you're not there that weekend is the card challenges. Everything else you'll be able to do. So so there you have it. Now I've got some cards to share with you from my mailbox. I showed a whole bunch last week. My husband, by the way, has been going through the cards you've sent and like reading them and rereading them. It's really sweet, you guys. Thank you. This first card is a card from Jill. She is just the best. And look at that card. Isn't that pretty? This is the host DSP from the annual catalog. I just love this card. One of my favorite sets of dies too, by the way. So thank you, Miss Jill. Here is another card. And look at this. It's a what do you call those things? A wobbler or a wiggler or whatever. You're welcome. This is from Cindy. So thank you, Cindy. I love it. This is also that same pack of host paper. Super cute. This card is a special card. This is from Sarah, who's actually on Kelly's team. And she's just the best. We've known Sarah for several years now. And she just did a really sweet thing. When we lost Izzy, she actually sent me a GPS tracker for Izzy. And so we have that now because of her. I didn't even actually know those existed. I do now, but that was just the sweetest possible thing. And look at this gorgeous card she sent. So it's kind of a cool card and a really, really, really sweet note. So thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate this. And then this is so awesome. This is a birthday card. I actually have had this one for a little while. So anyway, thank you to Jennifer who sent that to me. And then I also have a cool card. This is from Barb. Look at how cool that is. It features the gnome. Let's see, kindest gnomes. Is that right? I think so. I'm pretty sure. You would think I would know this. So, anyway, isn't that just super cute? I really like that. That one was from Barb, as mentioned. But then look at this pretty card. This is a white on white. So gorgeous. This is from Gail, and she just made a gorgeous card with, oh, I love that. Here's another beauty. This one is from Dolores. So thank you to Miss Dolores. I gotta get things going here. This is another really cute card that we got from Courtney, who came to our kickoff event. This card, you guys, oh my gosh, I actually have been waiting to show this to you. This is so pretty. This is from Tiffany, and she included this sunflower clip, which is just so cool. But look at this, you guys. And P.S., I've been waiting to share this with you. In fact, I was kind of mad I didn't. Well, it's a long story, but I didn't want to forget sharing it. So anyway, she sent this sunflower necklace. How beautiful is that? It's like encased. It's so pretty. So I thought that was really cool. And P.S., I love sunflowers. So this is really awesome. I really appreciate that. Okay, now I can actually wear it. I had to show it first because I was so worried that if I took it up, well, it's anyway. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate it. Here is another wonderful card. Of course, you know I love the stamp set. This is from Mary Catherine Draper, who gave me a Starbucks card, which I might mention is no longer in here because it's been used. That's right. We used it. And isn't that just the best card ever? Of course, I love it. Here's another fun card. This one is from Carla. She was part of our kickoff as well, and she is a super awesome stamper. Another beautiful card from Cynthia Bovat. Thank you, Miss Cynthia. I love it. You are the best. Here is another really pretty card. Look at these gorgeous images. And this is from Sandy. And she sent me a really sweet message. So I really appreciate that. It was fun to read, by the way. And I'm so thankful for you thinking of me. Another wonderful card. This is from my team member, Brenda. She does send me the best cards. So thank you, Miss Brenda. Another thank you card from Kay, who is part of my In Color Club, and she is just the best. So I love that, that bundle, by the way. Another beauty. This one is from Joanne. Yes, Joanne, who sent a card, a thank you card after our kickoff event. This is a beautiful card. If you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you probably recognize it. This is from Natalie, who's on my team. And it was just a gorgeous card she sent for my mother-in-law. And I actually ended up giving my Paper Pumpkin kit to a customer. So I never, I didn't get to keep the project. So I'm thankful for that. Here's another beautiful card. Look at this. I think this was a Paper Pumpkin kit too, if I'm not mistaken, from Darcy, who's on my team. I can't remember. This was from something, but I just love what she did with it. So thank you so much, Darcy. Another sympathy card. I had to show the cards to you guys first, and then I'm going to bring them upstairs to Andy. He looked at these when I was opening them a bit too, but I told him I had to show him in the video first, and he understood. He said, don't worry, the ladies need to see them. So here's another beautiful thinking of you card from Diane. I think I saw Diane on here earlier. So thank you. And in such pretty colors. You know I love those. Here's another gorgeous card. This one is from Eileen. So thank you so much, Eileen. And isn't that beautiful? She did like some hardcore fussy cutting right there, I tell you. Like that is like expert level. I was impressed. Here is another one from that Paper Pumpkin kit. So gorgeous. Isn't that just beautiful? From Karen. Karen makes the prettiest cards. So thank you so much for thinking of us, Karen. Here's another beautiful card. This is from one of my team members, Tanya. Thank you so much. I love it. I like that it was kind of cheerful too. That was fun. Another gorgeous card. This is that DSP I mentioned at the very beginning. Oh, so pretty. This is from Terry. Terry's just the best. She's on Kelly's team. So thanks so much for thinking of us, Terry. Pardon me. You also make just wonderful cards. Here's another one. Oh my gosh, do you guys remember this DSP? It retired a year or so ago. I love this. This is from Lynn, and it is just a wonderful card. So thank you so much for thinking of us, Lynn. Another beautiful card. This one is from Karen, who's on my team, who is about the nicest person in the world. And that is no exaggeration. And another beautiful card. I love the vellum on this one. And this one is from Donna, who is another really amazing stamper. I just love that you guys have blessed us with such wonderful cards. And the Happy Mail is really, truly happy. And then this fell out when I was pulling everything out. I'm not sure exactly who this was from. It says Joyce, and I'm not positive which Joyce this is because I know a few. But look at this. It's like a little paperweight thing, and I don't know if she like made this or what this is, but it's pretty cool, and I really am digging it. Like, isn't that cool? So it's like a little heart with a flower, and it's like glass. So I don't know if she's like a glass person or if this is maybe like well, it's got to be glass. I don't know. It's really cool. So if you made it, wow. And if you just thought of me and gave it to me, thank you. I love it. So anyway, it fell out of the cards. So I'm not exactly sure who this came from, but thank you, Joyce. And actually, it might have just been completely separate now that I'm saying that. I don't recall. But I really appreciate it. And isn't it pretty? Like, that thing is cool. I don't know. I've seen videos where people do this in like resin, but this is like glass because it's kind of hefty. That's why I think it's a paperweight. So, but it will be displayed on my shelf over here. So I'm pretty excited about it. Anywho, thank you all so very much. Happy Mail is really wonderful. And it was very nice to come home to some as well from my break. Okay, last thing before we stamp is I've got 2 stamp sets to give away. These are for the last couple lives. Well, actually, the last live and then a live like a million years ago. I say that because I was off a couple weeks with my ear and my thing. By the way, my ear did fine on the plane. It's still kind of plugged. It's not as bad as it was, but it is still a little bit plugged. And it popped approximately 587 times on the way there and only about 30 times on the way back. So that was cool. I don't know if being at sea level was helpful or not, but it's weird. But no pain. So that was really wonderful. I was a little nervous about it. Actually, I was super nervous about it, but it all worked out. So anywho, all right, so 2 stamp sets, and we did drawings, and by we, I mean my assistant, so thank you, Becky. We have Debbie Taupe, who is getting the Rays of a Light stamp set, and I got 2 because they're just that awesome. The second one is going to go to Catherine Miner. Yay, friends, good job. I feel like I probably have both of your addresses, but maybe if you verified, that would be pretty awesome. So just drop me an email and we will get these sent out to you. So congratulations to each of you. All right, now here we go. As mentioned, I've got some fun projects. Now I had several requests for fall cards and Halloween cards and fall cards not Halloween. So we're doing all of that today. My first card is with the soft seedlings. I'm just a sucker for these leaves. I love the ones with the texture and all the things in it, right? So I really like this stamp, but I wanted to use this without all of this stuff. We're going to add a few of these in here, but I just like the leaf. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I know we have maple trees in our front yard, and they are stunning every fall. I'm really excited about them. In fact, I'm going to show you a picture super quick, if I can find it really quick, because it's of my dog. Because, you know, let's see, we got to go back a ways before track season when she was still little. Okay, puppy training class. We're getting warmer. I think that started right after Thanksgiving. Okay, we're getting close here. So I have this picture of her outside in the falling leaves. See, it all ties together, I promise. Also, Sherry Pyre, I saw you watching. There you go. Key, isn't that cute? Okay, it was right before this. We were outside. Okay, here we go. Da, 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 da. I think this is kind of the cutest. Look at that little puppy. Oh my gosh, isn't she just the cutest? This was November 3rd of last year. And do you see all these leaves? It's from these maple trees in my front yard. They're gorgeous. The color of the leaves in the fall is just beautiful. And look at that puppy. She's so cute. Look at her. Oh. Okay. Oh, good, Sherry. You saw the picture. Yay. All right. So anywho, we're going to make a card with this. That was kind of a long segue into that, but I have no regrets. All right. So in this this is a really big image, but I'm going to put it on this D block because I'm not really going to use this stuff over here. I'm going to kind of cover up some of it. Okay, so I've got my Post-its in my Post-it drawer, because if you saw my tour of my stamp area last week, you saw that I do have a Post-it drawer. Okay, and then I've got a panel of white cardstock. This is, let's see, 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And then we're going to layer it on a layer of 3 3/4 by 5 cardstock. I just am going to grab my grid paper so that I can put this on. Now, on here, I'm going to ink this up in some fall colors. So I've got Pumpkin Pie. I'm actually going to combine that with Poppy Parade. I really like those colors together. Crushed Curry, and then maybe a little bit of Old Olive. So this is kind of the run of the colors that we get with maple leaves, right? So I'm going to start with kind of my lightest color first, which is going to be Crushed Curry. And you can do a couple techniques with this. So I'm going to start up by inking this up in my Crushed Curry. Okay, and I'm going to take off my Post-its and I'm going to stamp this down like this. And I wanted to stamp it somewhere where I got the whole thing on here. And then I'm going to re-stamp it without re-inking it. So there we go. And then I'm going to ink this up again. And because this is a light color, I'm just going to put those Post-its back on there. And I'm going to ink it up again. This is with Pumpkin Pie, and I think I just re-inked this because it's coming out a little juicy, but that's okay. And we're just going to overlap. Ooh, it looks fine. All right, and notice I'm stamping them twice every time. Okay, next up, I feel like. Yeah, I think we're good. Now I'm going to clean it this time because our next color is definitely going to be darker. And we want to make sure, or it's not darker, it's different, I guess, for lack of a better term. It's going to be Old Olive. So I'm going to use my Post-its again. I kind of rubbed a little bit of the ink off here because we don't want to get it contaminated in our Old Olive ink pad. But I can't stress enough the importance of removing those Post-it notes. And we're probably going to have to break into a different Post-it. Oh, that did look, well, this got a little crazy. I kind of smooshed it into the ink pad. I'm going to clean it up and see if I can ink it a little lighter. Ooh, that's coming out so dark. Oh, hello. Somebody's here. Do you guys want to say hi? We'll just stop for a second. Oh, hello. Hi. Can you say hi to the ladies? Can you say hi to the ladies? She's wagging her tail. She's wagging her tail. Say hello. Are you a good girl? Yes. Yes, you are. Shake. Good girl. Yes, shake. Such a good girl. Aw. There you go. Okay. We gotta work. Gotta work. Say bye-bye. Love you. The ladies love you. Okay. Thank you, guys. I figured you wouldn't mind if she just came in. She is a good girl. Okay, where were we? We were inking. We were having a good time. Getting too much ink on our thing. I cleaned it off. I feel like my ink is a little bit heavy in here. So I'm going to grab a spoon. And I'm giggling because I'm not sure where I put my spoon now. Which drawer is it in? Oh, it's not in a drawer. I found them. Never mind. Don't you love how... See, this is the problem with organizing your office and then going on vacation, is everything that you knew where it was you stopped remembering it for a week and now it's not like burned into your brain. Okay, I rubbed the ink into my pad with a spoon. This is just a crappy spoon I got at a discount store like Target. And I'm working the ink in because it was really juicy and now it's stamping much better. It's not so globby. Okay, and then we'll just add some of these on here. Now I stamped off part of this, so I'm gonna stamp just a little bit over here. There we go. Okay, that looks all right, but now we need to really kick it up a notch, right? It's kind of dull. And I'm hoping this last color will really make it gorgeous. And if not, there's one other color I can pull out of my bag of tricks to really make this one sing. Now, because we got all this old olive ink on these Post-its, we're gonna spring for new ones because, you know, we're fancy like that around here. So just put a Post-it down, and it's the sticky side down so that it sticks to those spots on here. And then I've got my Poppy Parade. And we're gonna go full bore on here in a couple places. So there we go. That was a little darker than I wanted, but that's all right. And then I'm gonna ink it up full strength again because I really I want it to be brighter. And didn't that red really add some happiness to this card because it was a little dull? And I think my sugar maple trees are happy trees in the fall. So I'm gonna put another full strength one up here like that. And then I'm gonna sneak in one more color. Okay, and that is gonna be some rich raspberry. Because sometimes the leaves do get to that color. I personally love them the best when they're red, but we're gonna hit up a little rich raspberry. Now this can be a really overpowering color on a card like this, so I'm gonna just do a little bit in the corner there. Do you see? And then we'll ink this up a little bit again. I just did the top, and then we'll put a little bit here. So just a little to kind of balance things out. Oh, so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna close all these up, and then I'm gonna tell you that something bad happened. There's like white space in the middle. We gotta cover that up. So I'm gonna ink up one final time. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. Kidding. Just kidding. I'm gonna take the little helicopter. That's what I call these. What do you guys call these? This is, ooh, I haven't used that yet. That's the little seed. I suppose seedling is probably accurate, but we're gonna take and stamp that in some early espresso. And it's just gonna be pretty, and it's gonna kind of fill in some of these little white space areas. We kind of want them going in different directions. Actually, I'm going to stamp off one and put another one right there. Gosh, I meant to put it in a different direction as the first one. Whatever. I'm kind of ruining this card with this. Okay, my sample of this is so much better. All right. There we go. Now, our final step. See if we can resurrect this card because it's not turning out the way it was supposed to. Is our sentiment. Now the sentiments in this set are just stunning. Okay, I'm going to do So Grateful, and I'll do that in my early espresso on here. Like so. And that is just gorgeous. And then I'm going to pick up some color from my leaf and stamp that on here. Like that. Ooh, I like my tag better than my card. Is that bad? We might change this a little. I'm going to ink it one more time. This time is in the pumpkin pie. And we'll put a little bit of that over here. And I don't know that I even like this. I might, oops, Don't set your ink in the, or your card in the ink. I'm actually going to take this tag. This is from the Tailor Made tags, and I think I'm going to totally change my card, you guys. Because I don't like how this, well, I like how this stamped, but I don't like how I stamped the helicopters on here. I think I did a horrible job. And I know you guys are going to say, oh, it's okay, I like it, but I don't like that. Maybe we can resurrect it into something else, but for right now, we're going to skip it. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do one more little bit of leaf on this tag. I'm really totally changing up what I had planned. This is how you resurrect a card on live TV. We're going to bring this back in one more quick second, and I'm going to put just a little touch of red on here, like that, because my cardstock has red. The stamp set is Soft Seedlings. Okay, so now that we've completely changed everything up, I was going to use this folder on something else later on, but I gotta cut another layer of cardstock quick. Hold please. One moment. Oh, that piece is too small. Hold on. Do you like how I'm changing things in the middle of the project? Okay, that's the same size. So let me trim that down just a hair. And then we shall be in business. All right, so that's 3 3/4. So I need it to be 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And I'm going to put it on just some white cardstock, but I wasn't going to do this before. This was going to be all stamped, but I don't like the stamping. I don't think it looks very nice. So I totally changed up my mind, and then I'm going to grab a folder that we're going to use on another card here in just a little bit. If I can find it in my neatly organized project boxes. We're going to take this folder and run it through our machine real quick. This is the fall leaves. Okay. And I think what we're ending up with, I'm going to like even more. Woo! Except I threw it across everything. Okay. So this is in the mini catalog, and I just embossed it with those beautiful leaves. Oh, so gorgeous. Okay. Corinne's glad I scrapped it. Thank you. I know I have my sample, except I don't think I have it handy. It's on the other side of the room. My sample was pretty, but what happened was not. I don't know. Sometimes things work better in theory and not on camera. That definitely happens. All right, so I'm just going to adhere this. Now I've got a layer of pumpkin pie that's 3 3/4 by 5. And then we've got our little embossed panel in basic white that's going over the top. And then this is a card base that is Poppy Parade, and it is just our standard half sheet. And then we'll put a layer on the inside as well. And we're just going to put a couple stampings on this. I'll just ink up a part of my stamp here. So we've got that. Ooh, that looks nice. Clean that real quick and do just a couple more. I'm just doing, half of them so I didn't have to use my Post-it. But if you're not comfortable, just do your Post-it note and that'll be fine. And that looks good. I'll just do those two. Okay, so this is going to go on the inside. Goodness. It was a weird journey to get here, but I think we're going to end up with a better card in the long run, which is just wonderful. Okay, so there's the inside of my card. Now the outside of my card I want to add my tag to. So we're going to take and put, this is some, what do you call this? Linen thread. And I will wrap this around a couple times and then leave a little bit of a tail so that I can tie this. And linen thread is just like a staple. I go through quite a bit of it. It's a staple in my stamping because first of all, it's wonderful for masculine cards. It is of course perfect for anything fall related, but it works on really just about anything. It works on Christmas, it works on flower cards, it works just on everything. And it's just nice. It's a nice embellishment. Okay, now I'm tying my bow on here instead of tying it on my tag, and I'm going to show you why I did that in just a moment. We're just going to get the bow itself to be about the right length for our card. And then what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to kind of fold this in half and I'm going to feed all the things through my tag hole. That sounded funny coming out of my mouth. Tag hole. Okay, so I'll pull that through and then we'll get the 2 loops through. Oops. No, seriously, we'll get the 2 loops through. Ba, ba, ba. Da, 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 da. Seriously, I know they're going to fit through here. Fit through my tag hole. There we go. Whew, that was tricky. Okay. Now, the whole reason I did this is because then I didn't have to try and tie the tag bow and it wouldn't look as nice. I just fit the already tied tag through the hole in the tag. Now, in case you're not sure about this, don't worry. We're gonna adhere it with some adhesive behind the tag just to keep it all in place, but I'm gonna try and scooch it over just a little further. Well, maybe at this point we should just go with it because we've already had some issues making our card. Oh my gosh, seriously. Okay, so I'm gonna throw a couple of dimensionals on the back of this tag to just really ground it on the card and ensure that nothing falls off. All right. Before I adhere those, I'm gonna kind of spread that and it's all on here. Now you can make it straight, you can make it at an angle, I'm gonna do mine at an angle. You can do whatever you're comfortable with, but there we go. We'll see how this photographs because sometimes when I have long tails, it doesn't want to focus right on the card, but hopefully it'll go on my blog okay. There we go. And then I am going to pop this layer up onto the whole card. Ooh, and I just thought of something I could do. That would actually probably be pretty cool. And if it's not, well, that's fine too. But what if we took, don't you like how I've changed this like a million times already? We're going to take that stamp because, oh my gosh, I just love this stamp. It's so pretty. Okay, now I'm just going to go around and add this to the edge all around my card. And you can put it kind of in varying amounts showing because that way you'll see some of the different parts of it. Like that. Okay. And by the way, this ink is still wet because my pad is pretty freshly re-inked. And then I'm just going to pop this up over the top. And I don't think that's going to be too busy. I think it's actually going to be a lovely little tie-in. Now, I probably wouldn't have done that had we gone with the other panel that I stamped and just totally disliked. But this one is going to be beautiful. But wait, there's more. What if we spritzed it, you guys? Like, seriously. Let me find my marker. All right, I found red. I want poppy. Here we go. I think this is poppy. Yes. Da da da, poppy parade. Okay, are you ready? All right, and then one more. We're gonna do a little spritzing on this. This one is about, I'm gonna find a good one, this one. There we go. Okay. Do you see the shimmer, the spritz, the color, the texture? Oh my gosh, all the things in one card. And it's so much better than we had. If you are just joining in, we were working on a background and it just did not come together. I did not like it, so we chucked it and we made this instead. And oh, it's glorious. So this is from the TaylorMade Tags dies. And then this is the Fall Leaves embossing folder. Okay, so here is your first fall card today, friends. All right, now we're going to switch gears pretty drastically. And we're going to do a little watercolor project because I'm shamelessly going to promote my Sunshine and Creativity Delivered box for September. Now you have to register for this by scratch that. You have to register for this by August 31st, so just a couple days left, but we're gonna make some really awesome stuff with our watercolors, and I'm pretty excited about this. And by pretty, I mean I'm super duper excited because watercoloring is my favorite. It has been my favorite since almost the beginning of my stamping career 20 some years ago, and I still love it to this day. One of my favorite techniques also as a new stamper was the Emboss Resist technique. So I'm going to take this, and by the way, I got to just get rid of my goodies here in my new system of keeping my office fairly clean. I'm going to take and do an Emboss Resist technique. And so this is the Big Hooray stamp set. And so I said we're switching gears because we're going to use this with the Simply Fabulous stamp set as well. But I love these big words in the Big Hooray stamp set. So we're going to pull out that hooray. And I'm going to put this on a block, and then we're going to do Emboss Resist. So Emboss Resist, as mentioned, is one of my favorite techniques from like a very beginning of my stain. Give me 1 second. Actually, I'm going to throw this on my Stamparatus because it'll probably just be easier that way. All right, so I've got my Stamparatus here. I've got the pad in it because it is a photopolymer stamp. I'm going to grab my magnet, throw that in here, and then I've just got a scrap of watercolor paper or Fluid 100 paper. And I want to prepare this with my embossing buddy, which conveniently comes in our new embossing essentials kit. So I'm actually going to throw that on here first. This is like a little thing filled with magical powers. And by magical powers, I more mean that it just has powder in it. And I'm just grabbing my other magnet here. To keep the embossing powder from sticking in places we don't want it to stick. That happens because the oils in our fingers can sometimes make that happen. Okay, so I've got the word hooray on here. I'm going to ink this up with a Versamark pad. And then we're going to stamp it down. And I'm laughing because my assistant just got here and Izzy is like real excited. Like she hasn't seen anybody in a while. Excited. Okay, I'm just going to stamp this one more time to make sure it stamps nice. Like that. So we get a good solid image. And then we're going to heat emboss it with clear powder. You could use white. It doesn't really matter. And then this will emboss. And then the watercolors we put over the top of it will resist that embossing. This is one of those like magical things. Embossing is magical, and then we're going to double magical it. This is our official terminology. We're going to double magical it by making magic happen twice. Once where we melt the embossing powder, because that is magical. I don't care who you are or how long you've been stamping. And then we're going to also do the Emboss Resist. Okay, I'm just going to heat this with my heat tool. And so I don't have to burn my fingers, we'll use the included tweezers that come with this. And it takes a little longer to melt things on our Fluid 100 paper because it's real thick. So that heat needs a little bit longer to build up, but then it goes and it's just so cool. And it makes me happy. And you do want to make sure all the powder has melted, like that little last bit, because it is a big fat bummer if it doesn't all melt. Okay, so now you can see we've got the word hooray on there in clear powder. Like I said, white will work just fine too for this. It doesn't matter. Okay, and then I'm going to take and use my water painters. I am going to use my wet brush for this. And I'm just going to kind of brush on water over the top of this. Okay. And by the way, it really helps to have a little rag next to you, which I actually do have. I pulled one out before I started. Okay. There we go. This allows you to kind of clean in between colors and whatnot. Now I want a nice pretty look for this with kind of some bold colors. So I'm going to bring in some Melon Mambo, some Mango Melody, some Daffodil Delight, some Granny Apple Green, and of course the best color in the world, Calypso Coral. So this is kind of a bright rainbow. And we're going to pick up the colors in kind of a fun way. I've got a block here that's mostly clean. Okay, and remember I wet this down. In fact, it's drying out a little bit, so I'm going to add a little more water. And I'm just going to kind of tap some of that color on here from my block, like so. Okay, and then if there's excess, I can just get rid of it. Now I didn't tap it all the way, like I didn't rub it all the way on there. I just sort of tapped it. Now I'm going to use my rag to clean it off. Okay, make sure it's really clean before the next step. Then I'm going to go with the next color, pick up the ink, and kind of repeat the process. Okay, and I'm not trying to get real straight lines. I like how they're kind of blending on their own. That's what happens. Okay, again, cleaning. And I'm just going to go with a little bit of daffodil because I don't want it to be too heavy in the yellows. And I got a little daffodil on there, kind of touching things up. Close this up. So I'm painting more with my clear blocks than I am with my paintbrush. But again, it really helps. And you can, this is like a burp rag, but if you have an old, like an old rag or t-shirt or even paper towels will work. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of dab a little bit on here. I'm not completely touching it. I'm just putting a little edge down. Okay, and I actually probably don't need to get quite so much ink on these blocks, but it is working okay. So I'm just creating a fun little scene. I'm gonna water down the ends over here a little more because that was drying as we went. So I've kind of got my green, and finally the color that lets us know God loves us. Coastal Cabana. I've just got a little bit on the end there. And you know, we're gonna put a fair amount on here because we love that color. Okay, so now the water can pool around and mix, and then it's starting to dry in places. Note the colors kind of swirl and mix together. Oh, I love this. Now this process is going to turn out different every single time you do it. And if you've got colors in places you don't want, take a clean corner of that rag and you can just kind of dab them. Like, get some of that green out of there. You can dab it out. Add a little bit more of your Coastal Cabana in there and make it a happier card. But all of those colors have been incorporated. Now we want to dry this, and we want it to not take a year to dry. So first of all, we're going to cover up our ink pads because that's just always a good idea. Okay, we'll get rid of our wet brush so we don't accidentally do anything we don't want to do. And I also have some ink over here that I want to clean up from my spoon so that I don't get it on anything that's not supposed to have spoon ink. Okay. There we go. That was from that old olive pad we kind of fixed. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to dry this, but I don't want my heat tool to kind of mess with the with things too much. Meaning I don't want to re-melt my embossing powder from my embossing. So what I'm kind of doing is just dabbing a little bit on here. Okay, and then as I'm doing that, I'm seeing there's kind of some light spots. So I want to come back and add a little bit more color. Now this time, I'm going to pick that color up with a brush because then I can kind of I can pinpoint it in specific spots. And actually I'm going to do the daffodil a little bit here and some of the green. Now the reason I'm picking the brush up this time is because I want to highlight exactly where it goes. Okay, so that I can see those letters a little more clearly. So there you can see I added some there, and then I'm going to do some Granny Apple Green for the next one. The rest, I loved that the colors kind of intermixed on their own. That was intended because I didn't want it to be, you know, all planned and perfect. All right, so that looks good. And then just to match the vibrancy, I think I'm going to add a little Coastal Cabana. Oop. Now I'm squeezing the ink pads to the lid, but if you can't do that with arm strength, just pick it up off your block. You know, you can dab the ink on here and then pick it up with your brush on the block. And then look, we can just add that color on here so it is a little darker. Okay, so now we're good again, color-wise. And we're just gonna dab a little bit. So we're gonna kind of wipe off the embossed areas so that the letters are nice and clear, because this is the resist part of our Emboss Resist. And they generally bead up a little bit on the embossed areas. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully, and not hold it too heavily in any one spot, I'm going to carefully dry things off, because we want this to kind of, where's my tweezers? But what I love is as it dries, it creates kind of some lines on here, and that is fun. Sometimes we want those fun lines and sometimes we don't. And in our little box, I'll kind of go over how to get them and how to get rid of them, because I think that was a request. So there we go. Now I still see some color on here, so we can still clean that up. Here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to take and put a little water down with my brush on the corner of this And then I'm literally going to just kind of wipe away and look at how that just kind of clears up those letters. And I'm going to do a little different spot so I don't get the yellow part dirty. Okay. So I just kind of wiped those off, and now look at how vibrant they are. And yes, somebody said it looked like tie-dye. It totally looks like tie-dye. Isn't that awesome? Oh, I just love that one. Okay. Now that we have that done, let's make a card out of this. So first off, I would like my card base to be Melon Mambo. That was that first color we used. And I want there to be kind of a fun pop of color on here. So once I find my bone folder, there we go. Then we're going to add a pop of color to this. So this is 5.5 inches. And then we'll add some color. I've got some Mango Melody, and I'm going to cut, I gotta measure this real quick. Can't remember how wide this was. Oops, I think it's 3 inches. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna cut a piece that is 3 inches, or I'm sorry, 3.25 inches. And then I think I'm going to go 4.5 inches. Okay, so it's not the full length layer of this panel. It's just going to be a partial layer like that. Okay, and going to, let's see, I'm going to heat this a little bit on the back. Sometimes that helps flatten things out. But again, I want to move around kind of a lot so that I'm not remelting the powder, because sometimes when you do that, the color remelts into it, and we don't want that. Well, that didn't really work to flatten this out, so that's okay. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some adhesive on here. Actually, I'm going to put some adhesive on here as well. We'll center this up. And then center this over the top like so. But I'm going to put a little more adhesive to help control those kind of warped ends a little bit more. So I'm putting about quadruple the amount of adhesive on here as I normally would. So that it adheres nicely. Okay. And how fun is this? Oh, I love this so much. It's really bright and cheerful. Now, the perfect ribbon for this is going to be, couldn't find it at first, is going to be some of this glitter organdy ribbon, because it's nice and see-through, so it won't take away from anything, and it'll just kind of meld in with what we've got going on. And then I'm also going to add some iridescent rhinestones to this, because that's going to be really gorgeous as well. Okay, so I'm kind of tying the bow over on this side, because we've got the exclamation point and the loop of the Y. Okay. Here we go. Put it on straight and everything. I feel like sometimes you just got to go with the way the ribbon is rolling. Okay. And then, as promised, oh, I love iridescent rhinestones. They're just so pretty. So we'll put a few of those down with our Take Your Pick tool. Oh, there we go. Da, 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 da. And need a medium one. There we are. Like that. So I've got some gems on there. Now I was going to do something with our other set. I had pulled out my Simply Fabulous set, but I think I like this as is. I was going to do some stamping on the edges, but I don't think that is necessary. However, what if, hooray, what if we did You Are Simply Fabulous on the inside and added a couple flowers? That would be kind of pretty. Because I know y'all love it when I stamp the inside of my cards. Okay, so I've just got another panel of white that's 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm gonna pull out just a couple of images here. Well, sort of changing up what I changed my mind about a little bit. That's just fine. Let's see. We're going to start with a melon. Go light to dark. And I'm going to grab a little pad because I don't want to have problems with my stamping surface being lumpy. Okay, I'm going to clean this real quick. Whoa, that first card took way too long, didn't it? We got a couple other things to do. Let's see, I'm going to throw one more of, oh, well. I was going to say, we got to have a color that lets us know God loves us in here. Since I just smeared the ink, I'll stick it over there along with Coastal Cabana. Let's make sure that is good and clean. And there. Now we'll fill it all in with the green, so we've got all the colors included. On here, like so. And then, now I could go bold, but I think I'm going to go light instead. And I'm going to do You Are Simply Fabulous. Okay. And I didn't leave a very good spot for this, but this is Smoky Slate, and we'll just put it right there. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's this little stamp that we're just going to kind of tuck in here with a couple just dotted around, just to kind of fill things up like that. Oh, so cute. By the way, this is one of the sets we're using in the retreat. You're welcome. Okay, so we'll add this to the inside of our card, and then we're going to do one more card really quick. Oh, my phone is ringing. Sorry. That is my son. Doesn't he know I have Monday Live? He can call his dad. Okay. There we go. Hooray! You are simply fabulous. All right. Well, that was another slow card, but it was glorious, if I can just say. Now, as requested by quite a few people, we're doing a Halloween card. And this Halloween card is going to be fun, fun, fun. It is going to feature the Best Witches stamp set, which is just so cute and sweet. Okay, let's clean up all my mess quick. All right, stack that up over there. Yay. Chuck that on top. All right, next up, as promised, best witches. So we're gonna stamp our cute little witch here. Ooh, I haven't used her yet, have I? And we're gonna take and we're gonna trim her real quick because I'm a stickler about that. Anyway, we'll just trim around the edges real quick, like so. And then okay. Oh, Carl's offering to get dinner for us at Chick-fil-A tonight. Shocker, that's his favorite. Okay, so usually Monday is our night out because my live is still going at 6:30. So bad. But we had good cards. Lots of learning here today. At least I'm trying. Okay, so I am a stickler and just want to trim that a little bit. Now, I learned an interesting thing. Actually, I kind of knew this, but I was reminded of this at our event this past week. That, you know, they die cut out the images, you know, of course, when you get stamp sets, they've got the die cutting around them. But sometimes those are not completely perfectly centered. And they gave us an explanation as to why that was. And it was like, wow. And like I said, this is something I learned when I toured the facility once. But rubber, and this is specific to rubber, not to photopolymer. Rubber is a natural ingredient. Sorry, I'm trying to pull out a bigger block here. Goodness, I got it. It's a natural material. I said ingredient, didn't I? It's a natural material, and as such, it, when heated, is not going to uniformly change. And so they kept talking about shrinkage, and I kept thinking about Seinfeld. Do you know what I'm talking about? Ooh, this is not big enough. I thought my scrap was. Hold on, let's grab a bigger piece. I've got some handy right here. Okay, so we've got our cute little witch, and we're gonna stamp, or we're gonna color her in with some blends real quick. Now I'm gonna take some rich raspberry, or these are actually Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to add to that some Parakeet Party and some black. Okay, so and maybe a little bronze for her hair. She'll have brown hair. Ooh. I'm not doing very good coloring her hair in. I thought I was better than this, but I guess not. Oh well, this is fine. I'm going to use Petal Pink for her face. So I'll start with a little bit of dark here. Just a little bit of dark on her hands, and then the rest will be light. So we'll blend that out. Oh, and I can put a little curly Q on her face too of the hair. Oh, but that looks fantastic with the blending. Oh, have I mentioned I love Stampin' Blends? They're kind of the bomb.com. Okay, Next up, we're going to do black on her hat. So I'll start with my light, or no, my dark. Sorry. I always like going dark to light. And actually, since I said that, I feel like I'm going to do some Blackberry Bliss first. Well, it doesn't matter, I guess. Sorry, I changed my tune. I'm going to do Blackberry Bliss on here. So I did the dark, and then we're going to blend that out to the light. Oh, looks so fantastic. Okay. Yes, Seinfeld. Oh my gosh. I was trying to explain. So Ella's boyfriend likes Seinfeld, which is just kind of silly. Just because, like, I don't know. Because they're 20-something, and I wouldn't think that Seinfeld would be funny to 20-somethings. But anyway, so they've been watching Seinfeld, and she, I don't know if she likes it, but he likes it, so whatever. You know how sometimes you gotta watch shows you're not totally into. Well, they were watching it, and it was the Spongeworthy episode, and so I was trying to explain to her what that was, because she just was like, what? So that was funny. Those of you who know Seinfeld, I'm sure you know that episode. Probably the two best episodes, Spongeworthy and Shrinkage. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to continue blending the hat. So we've used dark black and light black. So cute. I just love that look. And I'm going to put just a little bit more black over here. So it's good and dark, and I think that worked. All right, and then her cauldron. Oh, her cauldron needs to be black. And I might change my mind about the, I don't know, we'll see. But there's her cauldron, and we'll do the top. Oh my gosh, it's just so cute. Now we're going to do some parakeet party for whatever she's mixing here. And I'm just going to kind of put some dots on here in my dark parakeet party, and then we're going to do the top of them in the light parakeet party. And it's a little touch, but it looks nice. Okay, and then we're going to do her dress, and we're kind of going to take this part of her dress and just make that dark, and then we'll kind of go light from there. And I'm sort of kicking myself. I was thinking it would be fun to kind of change it up by using the Blackberry Bliss instead of like the, what's the other color? Highland Heather, you know, but I thought, oh, this will be different. And maybe I should have used Highland Heather. I don't know. Okay, so we're kind of adding some color there and there. Oh my goodness. And then her cape is going to be black. All right, so I'll put dark down here, kind of up here by her face, and then we'll blend in between. Okay, we're almost done. But Halloween cards are just so fun. Oh my goodness. Okay. The wood we'll do there, and then, ooh, I think we'll take some pumpkin pie for the flames. All right, so I'll put a little, ooh, my pumpkin pie. I knew that was gonna happen. I think I've got another marker handy here. My dark is all, she's all used up. She's washed up and dry. Which is, it's been a good long run, pumpkin pie and I. Okay, here we go. All right. So blend that with the light. And you know, there's just something about the blending that makes things extra, extra. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now here's the $1 million question. Should I do the thing on her, the buckle thing on her hat? Should I do that in our parakeet party, or should I do Daffodil Delight? Which do you think for her buckle? It's like $1 million question. Like, what do you think? Oh my gosh. Ooh, green. Parakeet, 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 parakeet. Yellow. Parakeet. Okay, I think we're doing parakeet. All right, the masses have spoken. Here we go. Okay, here's hoping it looks glorious. I just never know. I think it's gonna be okay though. Good call, friends, good call. I did this wrong, this is dark, oh well. This is light. Okay, there you have it. So cute. All right, now we are going to quickly trim this out. And I know you're like, what? But I'm just gonna fussy cut this. It's actually not as hard as you might think. I'm leaving a little white border around the whole deal. It's actually fairly simple to cut. It's not that bad. Though I will say a little set of dies with this set would have been pretty awesome. But one of the other problems they have with dies is when those dies shrink, and this is a bigger image, sometimes the dies don't match up with the shrunken rubber after they go, you know, after they melt the rubber into the image. So like I was talking about earlier, they have die cut, a machine that literally, they're called die cut knives because they are knives. They're really, really sharp. And they die cut the rubber so that you don't have to cut it out, though I like to fine tune mine with a little trimming. But then, you know, the die cuts we use to die cut an image like this, sometimes the bigger the size image, the less accurate the die cut is. And so that's why often those larger images are going to be photopolymer, because they can control them much better and keep the size so that they'll line up with the die better. Now that's not in all cases, and it kind of depends set to set, but that's a generalization. But I just don't, I think that's interesting. It's just a little insight into the manufacturing process. And my assistant Whitney is probably like, oh my gosh, how is she still alive? But here we are. And I still am. Okay, and we're almost done cutting this out, and then we're gonna rock this card with a little washi, a little DSP, and it's gonna be awesome. Okay. If I was really a stickler, I could kind of go in here and cut that out, but you know what? I'm not going to be quite that sticklery today. we're going to cheat a little bit. But you can see this is not complicated cutting. It's mostly little straight line bits. Okay, and a few curves. Oh, so cute. All right, now we've got that. Let's go ahead and put our card together. So I've got a black card base. We'll give that a fold. And then I've got a layer of what is this? Basic gray cardstock. And so we're going to stamp on here with our little stars in basic gray ink. And then we're going to kind of color those in a little bit with some clear wink Estella. So cute. That should be pretty good. Well, I may as well do the whole thing. There we go. Okay. Isn't that fun? All right. Okay. Next up, I'm going to, well, actually, I'm going to take some of my designer series paper. I love this. I kind of had it in my head that we would use the polka dot, but we'll see. Okay, maybe I won't. Well, yes, I will. I'm going to cut an inch strip of this and put that across here like so. Oh my goodness, I put my adhesive away. Okay, so we're just going to adhere that like so across there. Trim that excess off. Okay, and I'm going to hold on to that piece because we can put that on the inside. Then what I'm going to do is add some washi tape. So we've got this super fun Halloween washi tape, which I just love. And we've got some sentiments that we can use on here. And I think I've got a couple. Yeah, I didn't want that one. I think I'm trying to find it. Oh, I've got a label die cut for this, but I'm not finding it in my thing. Oh, actually, this will work. That's a little bigger. I was kind of hoping for something a teensy bit bigger than that, but as luck would have it, it is not working in my favor. Got all these die cut pieces, and yet I can't find what I'm looking for. Okay, so I've just got this for the, if you've got it haunted. Well, actually, you've put a spell on me. I like that. Well, no, if you've got it haunted, sorry. Now I'm going to make sure this is straight on here because it'll really irk me if I stamp it crooked. Oh, and I stamped it crooked, but it's not too bad. Okay, now I was going to, but this does not seem to be working. I'm going to add, ooh. Well, no, actually, sorry, we're going to chuck that. I'm going back to my original. We're going to stamp it straight. Man, I am all about like changing up what I had planned originally. You've got it haunted. Oh, that is so crooked. Why can't I stamp this straight? Do I have another one of these? I feel like I do. Do you ever do this? Does it make you crazy? I do have one more. One more. I think it's because this is not... Where's my... I'm going to practice. There we go. So it's going to have to work. Okay, but now here is what I'm going to do. If I would have taken the time to put it on a Stamp-A-Palooza, that would have fixed the problem for me. Stamp-A-Palooza is all about getting things on there straight. Now, I can use either black or green for this, but what I'm going to do is take and put a layer of this down, I think on this edge. Let me just verify it, and I'm going to use this punch. Yeah. So I'm putting down some black washi tape down, and we're going to do 2 layers just so we've got enough. And we want them butted right up against each other. We don't want them to be sticking out at all. You know, like we don't want any gaps in the washi tape. And then what I'm going to do is kind of burnish my washi tape. So I'm going to take and burnish this with my bone folder on the back side because I don't want to like rub off anything. But I'm just burnishing that on, okay? And then I'm going to punch it like that. So I've got a little layer of the punch, okay? Now I'm going to repeat that with the black on the other end of this just because it's easier. Putting that washi tape on here, snip that off, do it again. Make sure it's butted right up against the edge. I'm sort of pushing it down on the edge so it's right up on there. Flipping it over, giving it a good burnish so it stays on there really well with my bone folder, and punching once again like so. And then we shall, oh my gosh, where is that thing I stamped? Here we go. We're gonna add this to the back of our little piece here. Now for that, I'm gonna take some of my Stampin' Seal. I'm just gonna put some on the edge because I really want to make sure it sticks to that. And if it sticks out off the edge, just kind of fold it down like so on itself. Okay, and then I'm gonna pick it up on the bottom like that, and on the top like this. And how cool is that? Okay, but you really got to make sure it sticks. And by that, I'm going to say we probably should burnish this once again to make sure it's going to stay on that Stampin' Seal. Okay, now I'm going to pop the whole thing up. So I'm going to put adhesive on both parts, meaning I'm going to overlap the part of the label that we punched along with the die cut piece so that everything is kind of held in place by dimensionals. So we're using more than our typical number of dimensionals on this. Oh my gosh, you guys. This has been like the longest live I've done in a really long time. Oh. Okay, so there we go. How cute is that? Super fun. All right, we didn't show as many polka dots. That's why I wasn't sure if I wanted to use the polka dots. I thought we were good, and then it didn't show that many. But we're gonna kind of resurrect that, and I'll show you how in just a second. All right, so then we've got our cutie patootie witch, which we're just gonna add right here. And I think we'll pop her up also, just because, my gosh, she's so dang cute. Okay, if you've got it, haunt it. Now we got to add a little, I promised, clear Winkostella. So what I want to do is just put some clear Winkostella in the center of these stars really quick. So it just adds a nice touch. I'm also going to put it on here. You won't really see it a ton, but it's there and I know about it. And maybe we'll put some on her little curly cues and her little bow. But everywhere else is just in the center of those open stars. Just to add a fun little sparkle in addition to our washi. And you might see this on here, but it'll dry just sparkly. Sometimes you see a little bit of the dark from the thing, but as promised, it'll dry. Okay, so there we go. So fun. And then finally, where's my other layer? We've got a layer of basic gray for the inside of our card too, and we're going to take that other piece of our designer series paper and put it on the inside of this, and so we'll see that. Now, in the interest of time, I won't do this, but when I post this to my blog, I will show you that. I'm going to make a little frog. I'll stamp the frog from this stamp set and die cut it and put it like right here on here because I think that'll just be super cute. So anyway, oh my gosh, talk about high maintenance cards today. And I thought, oh, these will be easy. I guess not. All right, let me show you my cards. Once again, we did this watercolor background with the Emboss Resist. And then we did this gorgeous leaf card that we changed up, and that's what sucked up so much of our time because we totally changed it. And then of course a cute little witch. So I hope you loved these projects. I will be back here next week live. If you have any questions, holler. If you are not already on my email list, there's a link to join in the description of this video. Make sure you join because I'm sending out the details about our retreat tomorrow. So you want to be on my list for that. If you have any questions, though, otherwise just drop me a comment. If you could give me the thumbs up, that would just rock my world, friends. There are 400 people on here, but only 191 of you have given me the love. Oh, that helps me so, so, so much with the YouTube. Anyway, friends, thank you again for being here with me. I will see you soon. Have a great week, and bye-bye.